Hi everyone, and welcome to the third instalment of the Wide Sky Songwriting Sessions. So today I'm going to be looking at the third track on the album, which is Evolution. Yeah, so this is the second single from the album. It's also the single that I got to stand in a freezing cold boat shed in the middle of January to film the video for, because I'm slightly mad. But you know, it's good to come out your box occasionally. The video is on the main bit on my channel if you've not seen it yet, when I'm standing there looking very glamorous in my star dress doing my dance moves. It was a lot of fun, this song, but it was also quite a lot of hard work. Now this song started out as a completely different song. It started out as Borderline. I know, surprise, surprise. So I had an idea for a melody that came into my head while I was doing some very glamorous gardening. I find that gardening and walking the dog are actually really great for just getting some clear headspace to do some writing. And I came up with this melody, which was as long as you make it through, you're strong no matter what you do. And I thought, okay, I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I'm going to go and put it down into my favourite program, Logic, and see what I can do with this. So I started to layer up some loops, I put down some ideas, and then I went over to my long-suffering co-writer and friend, James Larder, and I said, what do you think of this? And he was like, yes, we could do a sort of 80s Shura type Madonna-esque production on it. So that's what we did. And we worked on it for months and months, and then we got to the point where it got hard. It got really hard, and we kept throwing different ideas at it, different bass lines, all sorts of things, and nothing worked. And we got to the point where we thought, you know, I think we may have overcooked this. We may have overproduced this. So we had to take the initial song, Borderline, which what became Borderline, off the production. So the melody, the harmony, the lyrics, removed it from the production and started from scratch on that song, and I'll talk about that a little bit later on. So I had this great production, this track that I'd worked on for months, and I didn't want to lose what I'd already done. So I went back to the drawing board, I went back to the original origins of the track, the drum loops that I started to work on, and I stripped them back and I started to play over the top. So this is the initial session, this is the initial make it through, version 6, I think there were about 11 of these, just so you can hear where I was originally. There's the loops. And this is where it gets really messy. So, messy, huh? Really, really messy. So I stripped all that off, I went back to the beginnings, and I had a little fiddle around with the loops, and I ran this over in the background, and I thought, okay, I can come up with something else. So I went back to my origins of how I used to write songs. So being a guitarist, my first weapon of choice always used to be the guitar. I find now that actually working on an instrument that I can't play is actually better in some respects. It helps me to write better, to think better. So I got this out and I thought, I'm just going to jam over the top, I'm going to see what happens. And let me take that guitar out and I will show you. I got that in one hit. So just playing the guitar over the top, I came up with this pedaling on this E minor chord all the way through. And I came up with this keep moving evolution idea over the top. I put that down, I went away from it, thought about it and went, that's got something, there's something in that. Now at the time that I was working on these loops, I was also doing some work with a local music organisation that works with musicians who come from countries such as Syria and Iraq, Afghanistan and other places in the world where there's war or conflict. And these workshops involve using music and songwriting to deal with trauma, to help process trauma. So you're listening to some stories that are at times horrific and at times incredibly inspiring. And working with these musicians was absolutely amazing. They're phenomenal musicians. I've never worked in Arabic music before. It was a real honour to be able to work with them and to be able to delve into that culture. But it was also an honour to be able to hear their stories as well. And some of these stories, they would just roll things off about, how this bomb had gone off or this had happened, and they'd had to leave everything behind and start again in a country that was completely alien to them, a completely different way of life. But there was no regret, there was no nostalgia or hankering after the past. It was very much a case of looking forward. And this inspired the song. And I found that this song became their song and it was their story. And I thought it was an important story to tell. And it was also important to carry on looking at that theme of human evolution. Are we leaving the human behind in humanity? So with that in mind, I asked some of these musicians to become involved in the project. One of them is Rami Merhi, that you see live on stage with me sometimes, and the other one is Rowan. Rowan is a singer from the Kurdish-speaking area of Syria, and she's absolutely phenomenal. She just sat down one afternoon after we were having a little break in the sunshine, and she just sang, and it was such a beautiful moment. It was one of those moments that sort of brings tears to your eyes. It was such a pure, intense moment, and I really wanted to get her on this song and to have her sing and have her voice as part of the message. So Rami and Rowan came into the studio at Surrey Arts in Guildford and spent the afternoon working on a part for her. So Rami helped to translate and helped her come up with the musical idea. He's a great musical director, he's brilliant. And the whole concept was, I must not look back, I must look forward. And that's what the Arabic says, is I must not look back, I must look forward. And it was such a poignant part of the story. I'm so pleased that she's on there. And it makes a beautiful layer, a beautiful musical layer. So that's the story of Evolution in terms of its creation. In terms of its production, we had a lot of fun playing around with the Roland Juno that you hear, which creates a drone throughout the track. And we had a lot of little Kate Bush fun in this as well. So you'll hear there's lots of little voiceovers in there saying run. And that's a combination of myself and my children and Jez's children as well. So I'm going to play you the live version, which is pretty much how it was when I was playing it against the loops. So I'm going to play this out for you. Probably minus the Arabic. I don't think I'm feeling that brave at the moment. Here we go.
So
don't look back. Can't turn back or live in regret. Sometimes it's hard to forget. Keep moving, evolution. Don't stop, see a reflection. Standing against rejection. We'll keep pushing evolution. To the end and don't look back. To the end and don't look back. To the end and don't look back. Don't look back. To the end and don't look back. To the end and don't look back. To the end and don't look back. Don't look back. So there you have it. That is evolution or evolution. I hope you enjoyed that. It's very much a song that has a lot of heart and meaning to me. A very, very special track. So next week I'm going to be delving into the world of Let Me Fall. So until then, I will see you next time.